All right. Series and Sellers Muscle Talk with the legend Jason Ons and the future legend, the teenage national champion, Justin Grinberg. What's up, Justin?
What up? How you guys doing?
All right,
Good.
man.
Thanks for coming on.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. The one thing that I want to say, I watched the interview with you in RX Muscle. And how old are you now? 19?
Yeah, I just turned 19 in June.
You know, majority of the kids your age, they don't even know who Dave Palumbo is. They don't know who RX Muscle is. They don't know who any of the major players in bodybuilding is. They know who like fucking what's his name is
Bumstead.
Bumstead,
Yeah.
and they know like
Certainly don't know who I am.
yeah, they don't know anybody. How did you get so deep into bodybuilding so fast, so young?
Honestly, I've always loved watching, just following people, and I'm sure you guys know Fuad Abiyad, right?
Yeah, sure.
I love his channel. Like I've been watching that since I was little, like just learning everything. Cause like he used to make cooking videos and he used
That's
to
right. That's right.
he
Yeah.
made cooking videos and just like bodybuilding on a budget, which is like perfect for me. And like I used to just like study that stuff and just like binge watch it. And that's like all I used to do. Like I didn't watch like other shit. Like I would just watch Fuwa, different YouTube things of all different bodybuilders, and I just kept learning and learning and loving it more and more.
Did anybody point you in that direction of the real major players, or you just happened to fall in love with Fuad and then it just turned into that?
It was that. I started watching. You start watching one person, and other people are recommended to you, and then you just keep like following other people. And he had people on his podcast, so I just kept following them. Then I watched their YouTube, and then I
Right.
follow them on Instagram, and then you just all eventually you have a whole bunch of people that you follow, and everyone just puts out information. You could just learn from everybody.
Go right down that rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
it's a good one, dude, because it's stuff that's educational, stuff
Yeah.
you can learn from, and stuff that I did when I was younger. We didn't have the access to the internet. You know, it was all magazines, so we had to read this shit. You know, and it wasn't as quickly accessible as it is now. You know, John, we'd have to wait for each month, for a new magazine to come out and see what these guys are doing training wise and nutrition wise, and how do we put that into work with what we're doing. And more so, what if we don't like it? We got to wait till next month to try something different, So it's great for guys that are really looking to advance. But it's even better to see guys like you that are taking the initiative and actually trying to fucking learn something.
Yeah, I know it's like a double-edged sword though, because you got to be careful. Because since there's so much information, there's people putting out a whole bunch of stupid stuff, and then you have to be able to decipher what's good, what's bad.
Well, so some of it you'd think is easy to dissect because most constructive criticism you really have to take from somebody who's constructed something. So you see these YouTubers or these guys, on TikTok or whatever, and if they don't look like they've done it, you probably shouldn't be taking advice from them. But you get a guy like Fuad or Dave or some of these other guys that are reputable guys that have walked the path. And it's easy to say, all right, at least I know with a sense of mild certainty that I could give this a shot and I could benefit from it.
Yeah, I say this to the young kids all the time, that you're following the wrong guys on Instagram and TikTok. They follow the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds that have a six-pack and they look good, but they don't have the knowledge. And I try to reason with them when I'm talking to these young guys in the gym. And I go, if I show up at your house and I say I'm a plumber and I have 1 year experience, and another guy shows up at your house and he's a plumber, and he says he has 20 years experience, which guy are you going to pick to do the work in your house? And they're
the guy that's not going to fuck my pipes up. They got fucked up for 10 weeks during the construction.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell you that much.
Yeah. So they're like, and I could see it because I could see the movements in the gym, and I could see the it's obvious that they're copying from a social media influencer that's trying to reinvent the wheel and trying to say, I have the magic pill, the magic formula, and try this and try that. And the young guys don't even have the basics down. yet. Whereas somebody like you, which is, you know, which is very admirable, the fact that you were not sucked down that hole, but you went right to the guys who really are the big players and have been doing it for years and years and years, and you can give you all the direction and the information possible. But that being said, I want you to tell Arns your diet for the teenage nationals, because when I heard you talk about it on Dave's channel, I'm like, I would have died. I would have put a bullet in my head. I don't know how you did it.
That was brutal, but it's because we started so early, which is what made it hard. I started that diet January 23rd for a show that was July 20th. So it turned out to be 25 weeks or something like that. So a 6-month prep.
Jesus.
So
you heavy when you started?
Yeah, I was like 200, but like short. Like I'm short.
But it wasn't like you needed to come down 40 pounds.
But it started off okay because like we were going slow. But then after like you're like 10 weeks in, you're just like, fuck, like I'm not even halfway done yet. And we started going hard early. Like I was doing like 70 minutes of cardio a day early on. Yeah, just like, and like I was getting like 15,000 steps in a day on top of the cardio, and just the food, like it didn't seem like, if I told like anyone else it now, they'd be like, oh, that's not bad. Like, but once you find out how much I was expending, that's when it adds up. So, but the lowest my food got, like on peak week, obviously when you're all in depletion mode, it got to like 1,000 calories, but that was just that week. Before that, it was like, I don't know exactly, but I was still eating like 200 grams of carbs a day. So, but with all the expenditure, that's when it like kills you. You know what I mean?
So what food sources were you using? What were your protein sources and carb sources?
I can tell you exactly. For breakfast, I was eating egg whites and oats with blueberries in that. Then it was beef and rice, 96.4 beef and rice. Then it was tilapia and rice. Then it was
white rice, brown rice. Did it matter?
I did white jasmine.
Okay.
And then I would do post-workout, I would do chicken and rice, and then I would do whole eggs before bed.
Okay.
So that was it.
Is that 5 meals or was that 6?
I did 5.
You like that better?
I did, because I was going to school at the time, so it was just like, it was hard to prep all that stuff, and I didn't want to eat during some of my classes all the time. So it was easier if I could spread it out a little like that. But it depends. Like now I'll do 6 because I'm eating more food, so it's harder to get in.
So did your diet change much during that duration, or that was pretty much the base and you just...
It was literally that, and then just like the carbs would come down. So the oats would go from, I don't know, like 2 cups to 1 cup to half cup, and then the rice would go the same thing. It was just the carbs we would all taper down.
Okay. And what about the last couple of weeks before the contest?
Well, I was getting ready early. Like I was pretty ready, I would say, like 4 weeks out. So once we got there, I got to increase the food a little, or just like, but once before the 4 weeks, definitely it was hard. It was like 70 minutes of cardio a day, like 15 to 20,000 steps a day on top of the cardio. And then the food was, I would say, like I said, I think the lowest we got was like 150 to 200 grams of carbs. So it was hard, but it was all right.
What kind of cardio were you doing?
I was doing the Stairmaster.
The whole way through?
Yeah, whole way. And I would
higher impact, but not HIT type cardio.
No, just steady state on it.
For 70 minutes with an rate.
Yep, but I split it sometimes. I would do 35 in the morning.
Okay.
And then 35 post workout.
Right. Yeah, I should do the same shit.
Did you have cheat days or cheat meals or?
We did. I would say on the whole prep, we did like refeed days, which is literally not like cheat meals. It's just whatever food I'm eating. It's like, all right, instead of 1 cup of oatmeal today, you have 2 cups of oatmeal.
So there was days you would just increase your calories from the food sources that you're already bringing in, right?
Exactly.
See, and that brings a valid point to stuff, John, that we've talked about for fucking past however long we've been doing this.
Yeah, right.
Ever. But everybody, they start these diets and they think there's some trick or gimmick or this. Like, dude, this kid is eating. It's the same shit, dude. It's the same food and it's the same. And that's consistency. And that's how you develop. That's how you diet. That's how you grow. That's how you make changes. And that's how you prepare. Everybody thinks there's this, or maybe they're in it for the wrong reasons. Oh, I'm going to go have a cheat and I'm going to do this. And we're not in it for that. Just you made the sacrifice. And then granted, it might have been a little longer that you were hoping for. But dude,
it paid off too.
But here's the thing that's special about Justin, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Justin. This is the God's honest truth. The traits that you need, the internal traits that you need to be a champion bodybuilder is already in you. So you obviously already have the discipline. You know who to go to for information. You're very well grounded at a very young age. At 19 years old, the only thing I wanted to do was drink and fucking get laid
and bang hookers.
That's it. And at that, I didn't have the money for hookers, so I was just chasing women like at and then like if
not well. No, you weren't chasing them well.
No, not at all. I needed one of those blow, get them in the neck, and then fucking they collapse, and then I could jump on them. But unfortunately, I didn't have one of those.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. So I would go through droughts, but there was always hope. Anyway, we're getting off the beaten topic. What's you already have those internal traits that you need to be a champion bodybuilder. So if you could do this at 19, it's already inside you, and you did not crack under a 20-week prep, because you're never going to do a 20-week prep again. Or if you have guys like Jason Owens behind you or whoever else you're going to go to, it's never going to be that long again. I could guess anyway, unless you get really fat and out of shape, which I doubt you would. But the truth of the matter is, and also on top of winning the teenage nationals, you won an open middleweight class at Muscle Beach. Like what, a week later?
9 days after.
9 days after, and you did not have a cheat.
It had a good argument for the overall.
Yeah.
If Nick wasn't there, I think I would have had it.
Yeah. And you did not have a cheat meal, right? In between.
I went to Applebee's and I got a 6-ounce steak and for Jasmine rice. That was after the teenage nationals.
Okay.
I love this kid.
Yeah. So he's got what it takes, and physically it looks like he's got what it takes, especially in the legs. Your legs for a 19-year-old bodybuilder look like they're phenomenal for your age. And
he also exemplified. Well, he has tie-ins.
Yeah.
Hamstring tie-ins, hip tie-ins that people don't get until years of consistent training. So I saw Justin from the auditorium. I'm like, dude, who the fuck is this guy? And
right.
Somebody told me, dude, that kid won the T Nationals. I was like, what? And Justin, I didn't realize you and I were talking on Instagram.
Yeah, I was DMing you before.
Yeah, for a couple of weeks prior. Dude, I had no idea that was you. I'm like, I thought you were just a guy doing the open class. I didn't know you were a teenager, And I'm looking at your physique back then. And I remember telling John, dude, we got some quality physiques this year in the open class. It's gonna be a good run, But yeah, that's when I came backstage and wanted to talk to you, because I just thought that you showed great promise, and hearing that you just won the T Nationals. You came down to do my show, which I was grateful for. Thank you. And the way you present yourself on stage, dude, it's rare to see something like that. Dude, I see adults and grown men that don't have composure or confidence on stage that you have. And what people don't realize is bodybuilding. Yeah, you bust your ass in the gym and you diet, but that's not it, dude. That's not it. It's when you get out there and everybody's looking at you. It's how you show yourself.
Exactly.
If you can't show yourself right, fucking go home, dude. You're gonna all these months and weeks and days and dieting and prep and everything you put into this. This is your moment. And there's guys that blow it. I mean, utterly just fucking blow it in those moments. They don't seize, that time. And again, that's just another characteristic that a champion characteristic that you have. And, hats off to you.
Thank you. No, you know what? There's so many things that you can control, and there's a lot of things that are out of your control. But I think some things are, like you said, presentation. I think condition. Like you always want, like I think that shows like who's the hardest worker in the room, like who's putting the time in, like because that's stuff that you can control. But other stuff like Nick showing up and being 100 pounds more than me, whatever he can control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had 3 really good, complete, open competitors.
The heavyweight guy.
Yeah,
his legs were massive too.
Yeah. So it was you, Nick, and who was the heavyweight guy? You trained him.
Actually, Mike was the light heavy. Nick was the heavyweight.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, I got confused.
Mike's one of my other athletes, dude.
Okay, yeah.
But he started late, dude. Mike has the potential to do really well.
He really does, yeah.
He won the Junior USA a couple years ago as a light heavy. He just kind of rushed into this prep, and and like you were talking before, like there are guys, like I know you started 20 weeks out, but there are guys that don't mind that. They like being in that zone, dude. They like being focused and having that tunnel vision, and maybe the prep isn't as intense the first 3 or 4 weeks of that 20 weeks, but they're priming themselves from it.
Right.
And that's stuff I used to do all year, dude. Like, there's really no off season. It's like this is what you do now. This is what you do here. This is the stage you do here. And then you dial it in at the end,
Right.
Yeah. When you were competing, when you were like in a push-up phase, how long would you give yourself to start cutting down for shows?
So I was fortunate, dude, because I didn't get sloppy heavy, in the off season. I always maintained a really good conditioning in the off season. So I could have started at any time. I could have started 12 weeks out, and I knew I was going to be shredded by the time I'd be ready 3 weeks out, but I would always start about 20 weeks out, and it would be like, all right.
And to Arn's credit, during that time, the late 90s, early 2000s, it was like, how can I say this? It was the trend to get super big on the offseason with a super big distended stomach, right? And then diet down. You look at offseason pics of Lee Priest, or you look at offseason pics of Craig Titus, or even the great, even Ronnie.
Even our boy Kamali, dude, he used to get heavy
big
in the offseason.
Yeah. And then they would have to fucking, but that was the thought process back then, when now, where Arns took the idea where it was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay somewhat in shape and try to put quality muscle on, which is what he was kind of ahead of his time, which is what the guys are doing now. You see the guys now, like Samson Dowd is a great example. The guy's 330 pounds and he's got a 6-pack. He's got abs. It's unfucking believable. Look
at Nick Walker.
Nick Walker's another guy. There's plenty of
these guys.
Right.
Their glutes are pretty much in year round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was this trend that John was just talking about for a while, where guys thought is, hey, you know what? I'm not going to burn any muscle, so I'm going to eat as many calories as I can. This way, I could make as much muscle as possible. I could reconstruct as much and rebuild as much tissue as possible in this off season, and not ever worry about going catabolic because I have such a super abundance of calories, right? I just saw it differently. I thought, well, then you take those guys and they got to go overboard with lack of calories and extended sessions of cardio, and that's when you really start burning muscle.
Yeah.
So I thought, dude, if you could coast in, dude, there were some shows I did no cardio.
Yeah.
For all, I think when I won the nationals, I was doing 20 minutes of cardio 5 days a week on the treadmill. It was nothing. It was later on in my pro career that I started doing cardio, and I just wanted to do it because it kept me more streamlined. It kept my lines in. It kept, give me more visibility. I kept my tie-ins going, flowing better. But the days of getting super heavy, that didn't appeal to me. I didn't see the percentage in that.
Yeah.
Justin, do you know who Craig Titus was?
Yes.
Okay. I went to the 2000 Mr. Olympia, and he wasn't in that one. He was signing autographs. I went to the expo, and I was with like a couple of friends of mine. And I remember going past his booth to see him, and he was sitting down, and I'll never forget it. His stomach was so big that it was like on his lap. Do you know what I mean? He'd be sitting there and he was just this huge. And I'd be like, Jesus Christ. And I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me that wanted to look like that because the bodybuilders were like looking like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat like that and get a big fat stomach too.
I got a big waist anyway, even on stage, dude. He had a distended stomach.
Yeah.
You know, which was his downfall, you know.
Really? You think? I thought maybe killing the maid might have been his downfall.
Well, that was his downfall in life, but his downfall as a bodybuilder who was looking to place well could have been the way he distorted his stomach.
Yeah.
But also, yeah.
His girl got out of prison, right?
I haven't checked.
Yeah, I think she got out of prison. She's like nowhere to be found, but he's still in prison. Anyway, but Justin, man, what's the future? What are you doing next?
I'm gonna do North
Legs
America
Friday. We're doing Legs Friday.
Yeah. I'm going up to Jersey to train legs with Jason. 6:30 a.m. Powerhouse Friday.
Jesus Christ, man, you're dedicated, bro.
I'm looking forward to it. I asked him about it.
Dude, we'll do 7. I know you got a long drive.
Either or, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, we'll do 7.
I'll be up.
Well, what time? What Friday? You said?
Yeah,
Friday morning.
Long Island going into Jersey. Yeah, you're gonna hit some traffic.
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, you're gonna hit some traffic because you got to. All right, yeah.
the morning traffic by that time.
No, I'll be good.
No, if you're on the road at 6 a.m. after 6 a.m. it starts getting.
Oh yeah,
because I leave my house at like 5:45 every day. If I leave later than that, I'm fucked.
Yeah, but you're coming from Jersey going out there.
Yeah,
he's out there coming here.
Yeah, but he still has to pass up the New York City traffic.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll have a good experience, and you'll be learning from one of the greats.
I expect to be killed.
So you're doing what show? North Americans, you said?
2024. So almost 2 years from today.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So are you gonna concentrate on any social media thing? Because the one thing about bodybuilding is like right now, everybody in the bodybuilding world like kind of knows who you are, but bodybuilding has a short memory. You know, are you gonna do any social media, or do you already on top of that?
I mean, I'm trying to post more. Like I was never big on it because I never wanted to be the guy. Like I said it once, if you watch the RX Muscle, I don't want to be the guy who's like posting advice when you get like 5 views and like you're like talking to a fan base when you have no fan base, or you have no
time to.
Yeah, like I see people at my gym who are literally like, all right, guys, today we're doing set squats, like, subscribe, comment, and like blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they get 5 views and they don't have big legs, like they have nothing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted now I have like credentials or something to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try. I've been trying to post more, and like I'm gonna start posting more workouts and stuff, and we'll see. But
yeah, well, if you want any help doing that, you let me know, because with my YouTube channel, I'm all over Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that bullshit, Twitter. So
definitely.
Anyway, so there's a lot of shit going on in the bodybuilding world because we're getting close to crunch time with the Olympian. Like I said, all of a sudden, everybody wants to get, everybody wants to punch the ticket into the Olympia. Yeah, qualified. And now you're running into shows where it's stacked, right?
Dude, hold on. Now, you know who one of my favorites is, right?
Okay.
Have you seen Regan Grimes lately?
We're going to talk about that. Phenomenal.
Right.
But he ain't going to have it easy because he's going up.
Not at all, dude.
See who he's going up against?
Nathan.
No. He's doing Italy.
I don't think
bro. Yeah.
Nathan Diaz is doing that too.
If Nathan Diaz is doing that, then you're talking Regan Grimes, Good Vito, Blessing, and Nathan. And Blessing, but Blessing has been posting. So, and Blessing only posts when he looks good, and he's starting to look really good.
He posted before that last prep. I saw.
Really? He didn't.
Look, Blessing, with all due respect, he looks fine until you put him next to, he's.
No, I'm not saying that he's going to beat
Regan. You can't hide anything now.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide. There's no way out when you're up against these elite guys, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everything shows. Where he can get over on some of the other shows.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more. But so this is my new friend, EP09. My name is Kenson. We did a collaboration together. And here is the video I was going to show you guys, because he does a lot of updating. Is this the one? I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, as you know, Roman Fritz won. What was the show that he won? I forgot. And Amir was right behind him. Yeah. Oh, which one was it?
Empro, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. And Amir was right behind him. And some people believe that Amir should have won. And even when I did my wrap up, I was like, oof, that was pretty close. Right. They're both from Germany, apparently. Right. And yeah, Amir Omorajak, right? And he was really pushing himself. This guy's young, but apparently he added a little bit of shit talking to Fritz. So listen to this.
Really?
Back to Roman, and congratulations on the win. I hope he enjoys his time at the Olympia. I hope he has fun. This is the highlight of his career, and it's certainly not going to get any further or anything beyond
that. That's kind of fucked up.
Who was that?
That was Roman Fritz on Ford, and he was talking about Amir. Amir came in second, right? And if you see them together, you could make an argument Amir should have won that. There's no. I even said that when I did the wrap up. It was very close. But the guy Amir's only like 24 years old, right? Let's see if we could. I believe shows it. Oh, that's okay. So here's Blessing, looking good. Blessing only posts when he looks good. So that's how I knew he wasn't going to do well to Chicago Pro, because he did not post much. So he's already made tremendous improvement since the Chicago Pro, right? But going back,
look, you throw that out there as if like he's altered his fit. He's in better shape. He just wasn't in shape. You know.
Yeah, he definitely was not in shape.
He has a physique. He's got a great physique.
Yeah,
but he's got to be in shape, or he's just going to look good at all.
He's one of those guys that has to come in 100%. Otherwise, he
will drop far down that line,
because he's got to go up against this guy. And from behind, when Regan turns around, he's impressive now. And he's 3.5 weeks out. Go ahead, Justin.
I was going to say, I was always impressed by his back, even before.
No, his hamstrings and glutes and his adductors have improved tremendously. Look at that. Yeah. That improved tremendously. You know, a lot of guys don't have this tie into the adductor and hamstring into your glutes, and he's 3.5 weeks out. So he's gonna dry up even more. It's gonna be even more noticeable. You know, he's got some water and skin here, but that's gonna be gone, right? And plus, he's got one of the greats in his corner. He's working with Milos, so that's gonna be. For some reason, Milos he's been on his game lately, between Regan and Sampson and the guys that
James Hollinshed's working with him now too.
Well, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. So here's another one, right?
Yeah.
This came out, Carlos.
Where was this taken?
Okay. People were reporting that this was 1 week out. Carlos came and put on a thing on his Instagram saying that is not 1 week out. That was like 6 weeks ago, right? And because Nick Strength and Power reported that this was 1 week out, and I'm picking him to win the Texas Pro, right? And I'm like, fuck, if that's fucking 1 week out, I'm definitely losing, because I got a bet going on with EP09 and Mark's Max Muscle, which are two other YouTubers. And but Carlos comes out and actually says it, you know, that here it is. He's saying that no, that's like 6 weeks out, right? But this is a picture, because this is in Texas, they're in Metroflex. This is 1 week out. Even 1 week out, though, I mean, it's a terrible picture. You don't know how the lighting is. It's one. He only released one picture, and this was it. Even here, it doesn't. You know, if you're gonna take this picture into consideration, it doesn't look like he's chiseled like a hunter, but it's only one picture. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's hard to tell right now, especially like you could see his glutes look good here and everything looks in, but like you never know. Like when you turn behind, like that's where I think the glutes and hams are where you're gonna really see, and you can't really see that here besides the one.
Yeah, he only released one picture. It's really not much to go on, you know. What do you think, Jay?
Fuck, dude, I'm a little concerned. I gotta
Yeah.
say, and
Yeah.
I love Carlos, dude. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a fan. You know, so a couple things come to mind. You know, and just like Justin said, dude, it's really from the rear where you could indicate how somebody's progress is coming along. The glute hamstring tie-in, the lower back, the assertions,
Mhm.
insertions. You know, but if this is the best picture he put out, why is that?
He only put one picture out. I don't know.
Why is there only one picture? Right.
I think he released one picture after the 5 to 6 weeks video footage came out. But you got to remember that Carlos does not jump on social media when he's prepping. When he was prepping for the New York Pro before he got sick, he shut down all of his social media. And during this prep, the only videos and pics he put on his social media was to plug his endorsements. He did not put any progress pics. So it's not unlike him not to, right?
Right.
Where when Blessing is prepping and he looks good, he's all over social media. He's fucking, as we just saw, you know. So Carlos is more
And
of
again, dude, this is a shitty picture. You know,
terrible
like
picture. It's really not much to go on. Yeah,
well,
I'm
it's
still
a bad quality picture. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's just bad quality.
Yeah.
It's distorted, you know. But look, here's what I can say. Dude, I remember seeing Victor, you know, back when we were competing a week out from the show when, like, dude, he looks like he's fucking 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
And then you see him on stage and the guy was fucking sliced, you know, and there's guys that just hold on to water till the last minute, you know, so we don't know, you know, because the last time we'd seen him, Carlos, is when he won the Nationals and
he
wasn't fully peaked for that. He was good enough to win.
Right.
So we hope, you know, that he will have it down and he is dialed in for this because he's got some tough competition.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know his body. It's not like, hey, we've seen Carlos a week out and we know what he looks like. And
he might not even know his body yet.
I'm sure he doesn't. You know, just like Hunter said, he's still learning his body. You know, so a picture, you know, speaks 1,000 words. You know, so
right.
It doesn't matter what I say right now. It doesn't matter what anybody says right now. What matters is how he shows up next week, and hopefully he gets the fucking job done.
Exactly.
He could do some serious.
Here is the footage with Amir Amarajak and Roman. Right. This is them. This was the Emperor, whatever fucking show they did. But and when they turn around too, I could see why Amir has a little bit of disdain.
Yeah, but dude, if you look at these physiques right now, okay, these are not top Olympia physiques.
No, but he thinks he should have won that show.
Okay, all right.
You know, and that, I mean, if you look at when I saw it, like when I did my wrap up and I saw this pic, I was like, they might have fucking gave Roman a gift because Amir was fucking chiseled. But again, this guy's only 24 years old. You know, I mean, you know, he's got 5 more years, 7, 8 more years of growing. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I don't think this pic does Roman justice. I don't think he was.
I don't know either. Yeah, I think he just brought a more full package, if that makes sense. I think he just put an all around better package. I mean, it might have been more chiseled, but I think Roman just was a little bit more balanced.
Yeah,
you know. But anyway, he was talking shit about him. But you know, listen, dude,
yeah, they're selling it. Whatever.
they live 20 minutes away from each other. He said.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah, that's right. They're both in Germany. Yeah, but that's the you know. Look, here's the thing about bodybuilding. I mean, I feel like bodybuilders are like overly sensitive, you know, because people start shit talking and they kind of take it personally. Whereas, like when you're playing football, it's just continuous shit talking all the time, especially on the field, and it's like, you know, I mean, they're really cursing each other's mothers and grandmothers out on the, you know.
Yeah, but they take it personally too, because they all act up on social media and this and that. It's hard not to, because ultimately, dude, as good as these top athletes are, we all have our insecurities.
You're right. You're right.
So as much as somebody likes or places as well, you know, I remember, and I'm sure Justin does too, Yeah, we look in the mirror and all we see is what we don't like. You know, we see
Right.
our flaws. You know, we see
Yeah.
the things we want to make better.
Mhm.
And those are the things that help us achieve better things. You know, so when somebody calls you out on it, and look, you're talking about a field, a heavily testosterone induced field,
Yeah.
right? So egos are going to be a little fragile. You know, there's going to be some temperament. You know, and there's going to be some aggression. But I don't mind seeing that shit, dude. It's funny. It's entertainment.
No, me too. I actually like it, but see, I feel like there are certain guys that know it's entertainment, right? And then there are certain guys that, like King Kamali and what's his name was perfect for, like, King realized it was entertainment and fun. And what's his name? I said his name before.
Sean or Titus?
Craig Titus, like, he would take it fucking personal. And King Kamali tells stories where as soon as they got on stage,
Yeah,
at the prejudging, he just says you're fat, and it would
dude,
fuck
they
them
would
all
go
up in
at
the
it.
head.
was
Yeah,
funny.
it would fuck them all up in the head, and like immediately. And he knew that that's what he would take to get under his skin, you know.
I remember Blessing was doing that with Nick Walker for the New York Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it didn't really matter because at the Olympia,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Listen, and that's why his social media following is so huge, because he does talk mad shit, and he does, you know, and he is entertaining, and
He's
he
a
is
character.
funny. He is.
How can you not like the guy?
Yeah, he makes it interesting and fun, you know. I think
He's
he's got like
entertaining.
I think he's got over 1 million fucking followers on Instagram or something like that, right?
Both of them, him and Nick. Blessing and Nick, dude.
Yeah, Nick has it more because I think Nick has it because he's just so down to earth. Any interview that he does, whether you agree with him or not, you could tell that is his real opinion.
Yeah.
Like they asked him about Regan Grimes, and he said he should just stick to being an Instagram bodybuilder. Right? Then wasn't that what he said, Justin? That's what he was. Yeah. And it's like you could tell when he said that he was sincere. He wasn't really. So I think people respect like that.
I think also they like him because he's the type of guy, he would say, like, he sounded cocky and he's like, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win this, but then he actually does win it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Whereas Blessing, it's all up. It's kind of like entertainment.
All show.
Yeah. It's a, you know, and when we had Nick Walker on once, right? Yeah, Jay, we had him on once, and he was cool as shit. He's very down to earth, and he's funny, and he jokes around, and people like that shit, you know. And then there are certain guys that you bring on to the show, and it's like pulling teeth. It's like, gee, they don't want to talk bad about anybody. They don't want to have an opinion. They're afraid to say anything, and it's like, oh God, you know. But so if I can give you any advice, I would just pick somebody in the North Americans and just start fucking shitting on them.
Yeah.
Just say you're gonna just, geez, his mother's got AIDS or something terrible.
AIDS.
AIDS.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, but the cancer's gonna kill her before the AIDS gets to her, so don't worry
Probably
about it.
right. Probably right.
Could you imagine that? But I don't know, man. So here's the thing. In Italy, if Nathan Diaz is doing Italy, it's going to be Nathan, Regan Grimes, Good Vito, and Blessing. And Good Vito was no fucking joke, dude. Like, seriously. He's a massive human being. See what he looks like?
Yeah.
It's unfucking believable. Yeah. So
even
with Regan, I mean, you got to see him. Regan's got a good shot to win because he's got a beautiful flow and physique. And I don't know how much muscle but he put on, but he definitely put on a lot more muscle with Milos. But Good Vito is he looks like just huge, massive, you know.
The thing about him, though, is I don't think he looks as impressive next to other people as he does in individual pictures.
Yeah, but we really haven't seen him. I mean, he just turned pro too, right? And you might be right about that. You do. You might be right about that. But we have to see these guys on stage, just like. So, what do you think is going to happen this week, Justin, between Carlos, Andrew Jack, and Hunter?
I think Hunter's going to win again. Just because I even saw it today, he posted something, and he looks amazing. Yeah, he looks even more peeled, and
it looks amazing.
And I think Andrew's also the type of guy he'll get better as he keeps competing. And I think this is since he's coming out of an off season now. I don't think he's gonna nail it on his first attempt.
Yeah.
And then Carlos, I honestly don't know, because I also feel like he might be the type to, if he gets in like crazy condition, he might lose like that freak pop that he like has when he's not peeled.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's very, very possible. So he's a wild card.
Yeah.
He is definitely a wild card because nobody knows what he's going to look like on stage. Nobody has seen him since 2021. You don't know what he's going to look like next to really good top professionals like Andrew Jack and Hunter. So he's definitely a wild card. What about you, Jay? What do you think about this weekend coming up?
I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
I would have to go with either Hunter or Carlos. If Carlos is in shape. I think Hunter is really starting to get into his stride and learn his body, which, like we talked about last week, this is what he needed to do.
Right.
He needed to hit a few shows, dude, and peak week after week and get rid of that little bit of baby fat that his body's still holding on to for some reason and add that little bit of maturity. It only comes from long, extensive dieting. Andrew Jack, I think as great of a bodybuilder as he is, he's a huge frame, dude. He doesn't have as much muscle pound for pound as a Carlos or or a Hunter. So he's not going to look as big,
next to them. I agree. Yeah.
Next to them. Standing by himself will look like a fucking behemoth,
Right.
So, we'll see.
Yeah,
it'll be a good show.
I think Hunter has got a very good shot of winning, but I am picking the wild card. I'm picking Carlos for a couple of reasons. One,
it's not a bad bet, dude. I mean, the guy's fully capable.
Yeah,
he's fully capable.
Yeah, 100%. I think if it's close, like we had just saw with Amir and Hunter, like very close like that, I think they're going to give it to Carlos because I don't think Andrew Jack is gonna. I think he's too lanky and he didn't put enough muscle on this offseason for him to compare to the shorter bodybuilders. And we're not talking like a shorter bodybuilder with terrible flow. Carlos and Hunter are shorter bodybuilders with tremendous amounts of muscle and amazing symmetry and X frames, right? This is not like, you're going against a Johnny Pump. Justin, do you know what a Johnny Pump is?
No.
It's a fire hydrant, right? Yeah.
Like a brick, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, but I think if it comes down to Carlos and Hunter and it's close, I think they're going to give it to Carlos because people are going to want to see both of those guys at the Olympia stage for a rematch, especially if it causes a little controversy. Like people are like, oh, Hunter really should have won that one. Let's see what happens at the Olympia, especially if Steve Weinberger is not the head judge. And I don't think he's the head judge in Texas.
I'm excited. It's going to be good. I'm rooting for Carlos, though.
Yeah, me too. But you know what? Hunter had a bad year last year. He had a rough year between, his friend and the Olympia and the whole thing with Nick Trigili. I am really glad that he won this and he came back with a vengeance because that shows the traits that we were talking about before, that he has the traits of a champion to come back from all that nonsense, all that bullshit and recreate his career, and it's just very admirable, put it that way.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know.
Your losses that define you. What you do from them.
Right. Yeah, it's not winning that makes the person. It's losing and how you come back from that makes the person, Because sooner or later, Justin, you're going to get on that stage and you're going to go, fuck. Yeah. It's not always going to be the winner, Justin, and you're going to go, yes. And you're going to it happened to me almost every time I fucking competed. I walked back there and I went, son of a bitch.
We'll see.
I remember when I had the last show I did was Brooklyn Grand Prix, right? And I was gunning to win, and I really, really put effort into it, and it was probably the best I ever looked. Not that that's saying much, right? But whatever. And I was a light heavyweight, and I go backstage, and there's this guy. I'll never forget it. I don't know what happened to him, and there's this guy. I'll never forget it. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where he went up. He had on a jersey. Who was the famous Miami Dolphins player from back in the day?
Dan Marino?
He had a Dan Marino jersey on. And as soon as I saw him walk up to like the scale, he didn't even take his clothes off. I looked at him and I was like, oh, fuck. He's too short to be a heavyweight. And if this guy's in shape, I'm fucked. And we go backstage. He takes his shirt off, and I was like, and I remember saying to my trainer, I was like, I pointed to him. He goes, maybe he's a heavyweight. I was like, he's not a heavyweight. He was like 5'5".
5'5". I was a heavyweight.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, man. But no, but this guy was really good. I don't know what happened to him since then, but I just knew it. But but I was never a good bodybuilder. I was like fucking, I'm better on the microphone. But yeah, it's the truth. I'm more entertaining on the microphone than I am as a bodybuilder. I'm a fucking horrible bodybuilder. First of all, I don't want to diet. That's number one. Like, I'll eat clean, but once you tell me to take all the carbs out of it, I'm like, oh God. Yeah. Anyway, Justin, all the respect and love to you, brother. You're really setting a mark, and you keep at it. You're gonna be on that elite bodybuilding stage in the very near future. You absolutely will. And I don't know, is it me, Owens, but these young guys, they're just getting better and better, and they're on a pro stage at a young. I mean, we just saw Amir Maraziak, whatever his name is, 24 years old. There was another guy in Europe looked at last week. He was 21. He came top 4 in that show.
Spanish.
Is he Spanish? And these guys just did this. It's unbelievable. And then you got a guy like Justin who's 19, and then with another 2 or 3 years, he's going to make these tremendous strides. What do you think?
So I think it's more probable now than it's ever been. Because the access to certain things are at these guys' hands. The problem is they've been in the wrong hands. So this could have been happening for the past decade, but just like we talked about before, it takes a specific breed, a rare breed that could grab these tools, utilize them, keep a clear head, have a vision, and try to obtain it. For what's going on now, like we talked about, a lot of people that just don't seem to want to compete anymore. And the work ethic is just shot.
Yeah.
So you have some rare few guys that are younger right now that have that work ethic. They have that vision, and they're utilizing tools that, dude, I wish we had.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not that it's ever an easy route, dude. It's always uphill, dude. And Justin, just so you know, dude, every prep sucks. There's always going to be stuff that goes wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there's never going to be a perfect prep,
Yeah, right.
But you still got to go through it. You know what I mean? And now more people have gratification from, posting, and getting a few likes and following, building their following, than they do of actually throwing it on the line and getting on stage or competing against other people. There's nothing better than competing. There's just nothing in any arena.
Right.
We talked about, I know you were a soccer player, Justin. Justin was an elite soccer player out in Long Island, dude.
Really?
He played for one of the top academies, Sousa, in Long Island. And dude, Long Island, just so you know, John, and I know my homeworks, my 2 girls are.
Oh yeah.
But so we know all the top academies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Sure.
Justin was in a top.
Oh, Justin,
academy.
Oh, there he is.
In the tri-state area are the top areas for men's and women's soccer.
Really?
Not all of New York.
Yeah.
Long Island in particular.
Yeah.
And one of Sammy's private trainers, he talks to these top scouts, these D1, top Division I scouting coaches. They go out to Long Island to scout girls and guys all the time, dude. They go to PDA, they go to the clubs that my girls, train and compete at and scout for girls. But
I ref still. And
really?
I ref still. And even when I do, I ref some of the college showcases, and when you get to like the 11th grade or something, like 10th and 11th grade, especially for girls, you'll always see these college scouts in the in the stands. You could tell because everyone always has that
They got the
same.
notepads. They got
Yeah, they have the notepad, and they all have that they all like of them have the same jacket on. If you know, it's like that solid coach jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not going to make any gains as a bodybuilder if you don't use I Prevail subs. That just goes without saying.
Don't tell everybody that, because we don't want, we want to keep the crowd, to a solid few, selective few.
Oh, okay. I Prevail,
yeah,
I Prevail subs sucks, so don't use it.
Right. No, but dude, these are products that are designed for guys that take it serious, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
he sent me this intro workout that I only recently started because I was saving them for my like back and leg days. And I'm not kidding. I started this was because I've never took like a carb powder before. I've only stuck to like normal EAAs and BCAAs.
Mm-hmm.
But this has it mixed in with it. So it's the carbs plus the EAAs and BCAAs. And I'm not kidding you, completely changed my workout from like it started off the same. And then once I started taking it, like completely, I could finish the workout completely, like no crash at all. And then I would even, I remember I did cardio after too. And I was like on my phone the whole time doing the cardio, and 30 minutes were by, no problem. Like not looking at the timer every 5 seconds. Like,
yeah, your endurance is up. You're recovering good in between sets. You're stronger at the end of your workout.
Yep. And also I wasn't sometimes I rush home to have like a meal or something. Like I knew I was covered, so I didn't have to like rush home to have any of it.
Right.
Knew it was like preparing. So they're good stuff, honestly.
It's good shit. I use the Mission, and the first time I used the Mission, I only did a half a scoop because I thought a full serving was 1 scoop. And then he goes, oh, take 2. So then I took 2. I was like, the half a scoop didn't do much. The 2 scoops, I was a fucking mental mess. And then finally, I was like, all right, I got to take 1 scoop. I was like, all right.
I do one. I like to pump the Forge. That's my go-to.
Yeah. All right. Very cool, gentlemen. Till next time, Justin, I have a feeling you're going to be back. Because yeah, it's definitely fun.
We'll fill you in on the leg workout.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys.
Putting this out there quickly. IHOP has all you can eat pancakes. $5. Just saying.
What is an when does an IHOP buy you, Jason?
I'm sure there is. I don't know.
Holy
Just
shit!
putting that out there.
I guess he wants you to buy him breakfast.
He's carving up. He wants to carve up after.
All right, fellas. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks for having me.
You got it, man. No problem.
Take care,
Later.
Justin.
Yep. Have a good one.